welcome to Sarah's Stampin' Retreat. Today we're going to be using this In the Wild Design Series paper to create a two-tier gift box. So I really like this, it's quite different to anything we've had before. So we've got tigers on this side and this gorgeous print on this side. We've got some smaller tigers with that lovely leaf print. We've got the tiger print with the lotuses. I'm just assuming those are lotuses. Then we've got this leaf print with a more muted leaf print on the back. We've got the leopards with this more graphic print on the back. And then we've got these leopards with leopard print on the back. So we need to make two kind of trays for inside the box. Those will be our compartments. So I've got a 7-inch square piece of Evening Evergreen cardstock, and I'm going to score that at 1 inch and 2 1/4 inches on each side. So I'm just going to fold all the score lines. Now I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut up this score line, so that's the second one, up to the second score line. So we're kind of working within this square in the corner. Then I'm going to chop along this first score line here. So I'm taking off that rectangle from the bottom, and then I'm going to chop off this little rectangle here. So I've got a step with a flap. And those of you that watch my videos a lot will know that this is how I make most of the lids for my boxes, so you'll be quite familiar with this. So we're doing that in all the corners. So in case you need to see that again, we're cutting up here to the second score line. Then we're going to cut this piece off. Then we're going to cut this rectangle off. And then we've got a step with a flap. It doesn't matter if your flap's attached on this side or on this side, you just need a step with a flap. So then I'm going to go round and I'm going to cut a small triangle off each side of these flaps that we just created. And then I'm going to cut a small triangle off each end of these side flaps as well. So each time I'm just going up to the first score line. So same on here, just up to the first score line, just a little triangle off the side. And it's really worth going around and doing these triangles because it really makes the box go together much better. Someone just decided to start some drilling outside the house, which is really useful. So sorry if you can hear that. So then I'm just going to put some tear and tape on the tabs, just on these small tabs. You can use glue if you don't have tear and tape, but obviously glue takes a little bit longer to dry, so you might just need to hold it a little bit when you put it together. I just find the tear and tape really efficient, and it's really strong as well. So I'm just going to take the backing off, and I'm just going to go around each corner, and I'm lining up this score line here with this edge here. So I'm just folding out those flaps, and then I'm going to put some more tear and tape just on the edge of each of those flaps. So there's one of our trays done. So I need to make another one. I'm going to do the exact same process on another piece of 7-inch square cardstock. So now we've got the 2 compartments for inside the box. So now I'm just going to create the lid, and we're going to create it in the exact same way, but this time I've got a 5.5-inch square piece of cardstock, and I'm going to put that a bit away from the edge here, and then I'm going to score it at 3/4 of an inch and 1.5 inches, and leaving it a bit away from the side just makes it fit, because it's got to fit over. Essentially this will give just over a 2.5-inch piece in the middle, whereas these are 2.5 inches, so it just needs to be a bit bigger just so that it fits on top. So I'm scoring that on every side at 3/4 of an inch and 1.5 inches. And then I'm going to put this together in the exact same way as I did the other boxes. So I'll show you one corner in case you want a bit of a refresh. And I know sometimes it looks a bit funny when it's in different size. And then I'm just going to speed through the rest. So we're just cutting up to the second score line. We're cutting across this score line. We're cutting along here, so we're cutting this kind of little square off here. So it's a bit smaller than the other one, but we've still got this step and a flap. So we're going to do that on all the corners. So then I'm just going to go around and cut our little triangles in again. So we're just cutting triangles on the side of each tab up to the score line. And the little tabs and the long side tabs. So again, just the same as we did on the base pieces. So I'm going to go around each of the small tabs again and just put some tear and tape next to the score line. You don't really need 2 pieces on this one because the tabs are much smaller. And just do the same as before, we then just need to take off the tape and line up the score line with the edge that's next to it. Then let's bend these out. Now we're just going to peel the backing off and fold them in. So there's our lid. And then I've got a piece of evening evergreen cardstock, and it's 2 5/8 inches this way. And I'm just going to score it. So I'm going to just leave a little gap at the edge there. And then I'm going to score it 1/8 of an inch over 2.5. And then I'm going to put it back against there, and then I'm going to score it 1/8 of an inch over 5, and then I'm going to move it slightly out again. So each time we're moving it out about 1/2 of an 1/8 of an inch, like a 1/16 of an inch, so that we're just creating a score line that's just over 2.5 inches, because it needs to get round this, which is 2.5 inches on each side. So then I've left a little bit of a gap again there, and I'm doing it 7 3/4 inches. And I'm pushing it back against there, and I'm doing it at 10 1/4 inches. So then I'm just going to cut up this last score line. And then I'm going to fold down all my score lines. And you see then that just wraps nicely around there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop some tape and tear and tape just on 2 sides of this, so 2 adjacent sides. And then I'm going to line this up with the bottom of here, and then I'm going to just fold it round so it sticks onto that side as well. So that's stuck on two sides now. And then I'm going to do the same on this one. I'm going to stick it on two sides only. And then this one, I'm going to start at this end. I'm going to line it up as at the top, and then I'm going to fold it that way. So do you see my my tapes on the inside here and on the back? So I'm just going to line that up there, and then I'm going to fold it round so it sticks on the other side as well. And then that can just fold round like that. So then we've got our box. And then our lid will fit on the top like that. So it will all be held together while the lid's on. And then when you take the lid off, then you've got your two compartments. So then I've taken two of the papers from the pack, and I'm going to use this one for the lid and this one for the main part of the box. So I'm just going to glue these round here. So these ones measure just 1/8 of an inch under 2.5 inches square. So that is 2 3/8 of an inch square. This green leopard print. So the piece for the top here is 2.5 inches squared, and these pieces that I'm sticking around the outside are 2.5 inches by 5/8 of an inch. So then that will go on there like that. So that looks really cute. Look. And then to decorate the top, I'm going to just cut out this yellow tiger. And you see there's some yellow in here, so it'll kind of pick out that yellow as well. So I'm just going to pop some dimensionals behind this. And he goes on the top like that. So then you can take the lid off, pull out these, and you've got some nice little compartments to put things in. Close it up, pop the lid on, and it all stays together nicely. So I really hope that you enjoyed today's project. If you did, I'd appreciate you clicking like below, and you can also hit subscribe if you'd like to see future videos. If you press the bell button and select all, then YouTube will also notify you when I've got new videos available. All of the products that we've used for today's project are linked in the description below, and there's also a host code there. So if you enter my host code into your basket before you check out, then I'll send a free gift after the end of the month. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope to see you again soon.